Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
A 51-year-old man was killed in a targeted shooting in Mississauga on Wednesday, Peel police say. The victim has been identified by police as Brampton resident Harjeet Dhada. They said Dhada was standing in a parking lot near Tranmere Drive and Telford Way near Dixie and Derry Road just before noon when a suspect approached and shot him multiple times. Dhada was rushed to a trauma center where he died shortly after. Police say the suspects fled in a stolen 2018 black Dodge Challenger, which investigators have since recovered. In a news release on Friday, police said they believe it was a targeted shooting. They added they were aware of unverified information circulating online and in the media about the possible motive and asked the public to refrain from speculation. Police said all potential leads will be thoroughly examined. Witnesses told Awaz News on Wednesday that the victim was standing outside his truck when he was shot. One person recounted hearing more than a dozen gunshots. The window of a law firm from across the road was also hit by a bullet. An official recount has certified the results of the federal election in Milton East, Halton Hills South. The recount concluded on Friday, confirming Liberal candidate Christina Tesser-Dixon as the winner. She will now serve as the riding's MP. Tesser-Dixon received 32,178 votes, while Conservative candidate Tom Gill, who was named the winner on election night based on preliminary result, received 32,157 votes. Only 21 votes separated the candidates. According to the results of the recount, 66,685 valid votes were cast and 328 ballots were rejected. An official recount is automatically triggered when the difference between the first and second place candidates are within 1,000 of total number of ballots received. On May 2nd, validated results from elections, Canada flipped the riding from blue to red and suggested the Liberal candidate had won by only 29 votes. The validated results also indicated there were 412 rejected ballots in the riding. The recount narrowed Tesser-Dixon's lead and fewer ballots were rejected. Justice Leonard Richetti of the Superior Court of Ontario was in charge of the official recount. A 53-year-old Oakville man has been charged in connection with alleged fraud targeting new immigrants to Canada. Halton Regional Police said they began their investigation into the fraud last month after receiving multiple reports about it. Their investigation uncovered that a suspect allegedly pretended to be an executive at Toyota Motor Corporation and offered employment to potential victims, most of whom were new to Canada and were working as Uber or Lyft drivers, police said. The suspect would convince his victims to provide sensitive personal documents, including passports, social insurance numbers, banking information, and government-issued identification, which he would then use to fraudulently obtain items such as mobile phones and motor vehicles, including a residential lease, which was obtained using a false identity, police alleged in a news release on Friday. These victims were often unfamiliar with Canadian employment standards, making them vulnerable to exploitation. Police said they found 3 victims during the course of the investigation and, as a result, arrested the suspect this week. He has been identified as Raphael Layton. The 53-year-old facing charges of fraud over $5,000, identity fraud, false pretenses, and failure to comply with a release order. The charges have not been tested in court. Investigators have released Layton's photo as they believe there may be additional victims. Police said the suspect commonly uses the aliases Rafiq and Ali. A man is facing charges after allegedly trying to rob a store inside of a Burlington mall at knife point early this week. Halton police say a masked suspect went to the Rogers store inside Burlington Center Mall at around 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Once he was inside, officials allege he brandished a knife and forced a store employee into a back room where he then stole an undisclosed quantity of cell phones. However, as the suspect tried to leave the store, a security guard intervened and brought him into custody with the help of Halton police officers. Police say the security guard sustained a minor physical injury following the confrontation. On Friday, police charged 26-year-old Muad Al-Khayasi of Mississauga with a number of offenses, including robbery and assault with intent to resist arrest. The charges have not been tested in court. Investigators say they saw a black sedan in the mall's parking lot at the time and are asked anyone with the information or footage of that vehicle to contact them or Crime Stoppers anonymously. 3 people have been charged and 3 suspects remain at large following a months-long series of residential break-ins throughout York Region. York Regional Police say they launched their investigation dubbed Project Lone Wolf in October 2024 after learning a string of break-and-enters were allegedly executed by the same group of suspects. Officers say the suspects allegedly targeted unoccupied homes while the residents were away throughout the fall and winter months. They allege the suspects would coordinate overnight break-ins where they would make off with jewelry, handbags, cash, and a variety of other items that they could easily take from the home to the vehicles waiting outside. In photos released by police, some other stolen items include luxury purses, sunglasses, and watches, as well as a candle and collectible coins. Through the help of Durham, Halton, and Provincial Police, York investigators were able to identify suspects and gather evidence, which identified more victims. In a release issued on Friday, police announced they arrested 3 people: 52-year-old Lucien Viau and 67-year-old Robert Mills of Oshawa and 48-year-old Shane Charles of Whitby. They are collectively facing break-and-enter and conspiracy charges. Investigators are searching for 3 more suspects: 47-year-old Sean McKay, 22-year-old Patricia McKay, Marira, and an unnamed 18-year-old man. They are all wanted on possession of property obtained by crime charges. McKay is also wanted on 9 counts of break-and-enter and 2 counts of conspiracy to commit dictable offense charges. The charges have not been tested in court. Police have been unable to find the outstanding suspects and are asking the public for information. Investigators are urging the accused to seek legal advice and turn themselves in, adding that anyone helping them out at the time could be subject to criminal charges. Officers also ask that anyone who was a victim of break-and-enter from September 2024 to March 2025 to review the full list of recovered items and contact police if any of them belong to you. There will be process to verify ownership before collecting any property, police said. Investigators are asking anyone with the information to contact them or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he's not ruling out the possibility of distributing another round of rebate checks to Ontarians in order to help people navigate uncertain financial times. Ford's comments come the day after the PC government tabled its first budget at Queen's Park since being re-elected in March. The budget included billions of dollars in support for businesses in order to bolster Ontario's economy in the face of U.S. tariffs, sending the province into a deficit of $14.6 billion for 2025-2026. However, opposition parties at Queen's Park criticized the budget for providing little direct relief to individuals. Aside from several programs to bolster businesses, the government plans to spend around $200 billion on infrastructure investments over the next decade. Still, Ford pointed out that individuals will save through several measures that were unveiled in the budget, including a permanent reduction in the gas tax and the removal of tolls on a provincially owned portion of Highway 407 East between Pickering and Clarington. Those measures are expected to cost $930 million and $94 million respectively in 2025-26. Issuing $200 bill rebate checks earlier this year cost around $3 billion. Ford said Friday that the budget focused primarily on supporting businesses, but that he wouldn't rule out providing relief to individuals in the form of rebate checks, as he did just before the latest provincial election. According to the budget, the government is not expecting to have any extra money until 2027-28, when a small surplus of around $200 million is predicted. However, ministry staff noted Thursday that the economic environment remains highly unpredictable given the ever-shifting tariff discussions. Traffic in both directions along Highway 400 is slow moving Friday due to an unusual sight as a group of cows were spotted running loose near Aurora. Provincial police officers said the situation began midday when multiple cows were seen running between Highway 9 and Aurora Road, creating heavy slowdowns in both directions. We have about 6 different cows running up and down the highway, said OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt in a video posted to social media on Friday. Heavy delays approaching the scene in both directions. If you are heading to the cottage or heading out of the town or heading into town. Officers were seen attempting to wrangle the animals that were wandering in the center median using lassos and ATVs. Schmidt said police first got the call shortly before 2 p.m. after the cows escaped their enclosure believed to be somewhere around Highway 9. Police said they're trying to bring them to the safety has proven challenging. The cows dodged capture for hours as motorists on both sides of the highway slowed to catch a glimpse. Shortly before 5 p.m., Schmidt confirmed all the cows had been removed from the highway, but the situation isn't over just yet. 2 cows have been corralled. 4 others are in a field west of Highway 400, he noted. We have officers, farmers, and ministry folks here trying to slowly direct this cow into a trailer. The remaining cows are in a field along Canal Road in Bradford. With a heavy volume of traffic on the highway, motorists should expect delays.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.